Hari Om. Good evening. A very warm welcome to all of you. Please come. Let's invoke the power of prayers together. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Sahana vavatu sahano bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vedvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O God, the Supreme Almighty, the omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent, who also has the divine name as Vishwadakshinaha, to such a supreme power, together with Shraddha, Bhakti, Prapatti, we offer our humble salutations. To seek your grace, your mercy, your benevolence, your love, your care, your affection, your strength, your forgiveness, your resilience. O Lord, bless us with the divine qualities Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, Prapatti and Mumukshutva in much more proportion, only and only to understand Thy true self. We beseech in you that we all have a first-hand experience of Thy true self right within our hearts. We also pray that at the end of our lives, we reach Thy holy feet. Om Tat Sat. Our humble salutations to the Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. By the grace of the Almighty and the blessings of the Guru Parampara, today we are on our Divine Discourse number 388 on the 6th of August 2024. Krodhinam Samvatsara Dakshinayan Varsharutu Shravanamas Shuklapaksh Bhaumavasare Dvitiyatito Magha Nakshatra Varyan Yoge. On this auspicious day of Tuesday and the auspicious time of the evening, we all make a firm resolve in our minds with the utmost Shraddha and Prapatti that, O Lord, I know for sure that everything is orchestrated by you, whatever is happening in my life. Every incident, every circumstance, every situation, every happening, be it through a person or a place or an object, it is all sent to me to experience only and only to elevate myself from the dungeon of ignorance. Therefore, give me the strength to accept everything with fullest faith and surrender. At the end, our humble salutations to the Guru Parampara. Once again, Hari Om. Good evening, everybody. A very warm welcome to all of you. So, now let's understand what we are going to learn today. What are the pearls of wisdom for today? As I told you, we post it on your independent IDs as well as in the group. So let's see what we are learning today. Now first I'll tell you about the journey of the 6th chapter, how it starts, and from there it's always good, you know from where you're coming and now where exactly you're going. So we'll start with that, and then today primarily we'll take up verse number 20 and 21. Both these verses speak about the state of mind of a sadhak attaining Jeevan Mukti. And now, how can we reach that state? Now, this is one special privilege of the Advaita philosophy, Jeevan Mukti. In all other philosophies, you have Mukti which is after the death. But Advaita philosophy, because of that knowledge, driving away of ignorance, one is able to experience the liberation even while living. So, how can we reach that state? How can we establish ourselves in that Paramatma Parama Tattva? Parama Tattva means the supreme reality, and Paramatma is the supreme. Supreme reality of the supreme. How can we reach that state? Then what are the limitations to this? You know, for everything there are always conditions. So now here there are massive limitations. What are they? Let's understand them. Okay, now you told us about the limitations, but how can I cross over them? That is also required. How can I cross over the hurdles? And how can one be free from the pain in the body and fear, anxiety, riddles of the mind. How can I get free from all this? So now one answer: to achieve all the above, today we shall begin a journey of 1,000,000 lives. A practical handheld meditation incorporating the techniques of science for self-experience of the divine. That's what we are going to start today. Now, this technique is one of its kind, very unique in its own way, which I can say is a direct blessing by insights given by Lord Kedarnath Baba. I would say this is something beyond being very special, Vishesh Anugraha, what we call, with all humility, a true reckoning that we are the chosen ones by the divine for our sincerity in sadhana and unwavering devotion, what we have shown so far. Okay, so now let's begin our journey. So moving on to a brief recap. In this chapter, if you see, Lord Krishna, he continues a comparative evaluation of karma yoga. This karma yoga which is practiced, the spirituality which is practiced while doing the worldly duties. So means it directly talks about a grahastha. Okay. Now, how does this grahastha, he perform karma while being in the grahastha ashram, and at the same time he is practicing spirituality, karma yoga and spirituality. And the other one is karma sannyas, which we spoke in detail in the 5th chapter. So now here, practicing spirituality in the renounced order. Now they say from chapter 5, which is we have seen. Now this chapter 6 happens to be the recommendation made by Lord Krishna to Arjuna. So he simply says, when you perform work with the devotion in your mind, with the feeling of Naham karta hari karta, hari preranaya, hari prityartam. Now this has been our mantra right from the beginning. Now what happens when we do this? It purifies our mind and it deepens our quest for that spiritual realization. Now at the same time, the mind also becomes tranquil, serene, peaceful. Now to such a mind, meditation becomes one of the very easy means for elevation. So through such meditation, now what happens? The yogi, he strives to conquer his mind, and for a while the untrained mind is the worst enemy. Now he talks about that as well, and then he says this untrained mind, as it is your enemy, you train your mind and it will become your best friend, your ally. So Sri Krishna, he cautions Arjuna that one cannot attain success on the spiritual path by engaging only in severe austerities. You may be thinking that I am doing so much japa, I am doing so much puja, so many yajna, havan, bhajan, all these austerities I am doing. He clearly says that this will only purify your mind. So, and hence he says, along with that, one must have a moderation in eating, work, recreation and sleep. So he then explains also this sadhana for uniting the mind with God, and he gives a simile which we'll learnt in the last discourse, that just as a lamp in a windless place, it does not flicker, so same wise a sadhak must hold the mind steady in meditation. This is up till verse number 19. So now I'll give you a brief inkling of verse number 20 and 21. When the mind of a sadhak, such a mind is controlled and is made calm through the practice of this yoga, Of course, a calm mind comes only with keeping away from material distractions. So the yogi, now he can perceive the soul with the purified mind and finds deep inner joy. That is the result. By practice of yoga, keeping away from material distractions, such a yogi, now he can perceive, he says, with such a purified mind, all what he spoke about, the various actions performed for attaining salvation, but that all those do not give, knowledge gives. So now he's emphasizing more on saying, you have a purified mind, and when the right knowledge enters your mind, you will find a deep inner joy. Now moving forward in verse number 21, he says, in this state of yoga, known as samadhi, one experiences immense, limitless, divine bliss. So these are the effects. Now he's preparing you to the next level. So in such a state, the individual or the sadhak remains firmly connected to the eternal truth, and he never sways away from it. This is what is talking about these two verses. Now we'll go a little more in detail and try to get a proper understanding, because this knowledge is now required as we are going to start the meditation. See how well it has fallen in place. As the chapters we are progressing, and when it comes to this stage and we go to the yatra, and from there we pray, and then insights. I must also share with you that the insights, even till today morning, every day I'm getting something new. I make a note immediately. Immediately, in the sense, what happens is, when you are meditating, you get the thought, and many a times I've seen, by the time I complete my meditation, the thought goes away. That is the power of Maya. So immediately I record it over there, and then I make my notes, and then you start repeating. So which means now this is something which comes as a divine white light in your meditation, and you have to immediately grasp it and put it into practice. So it is, even till date now, it is almost about 1.5 months, but I am seeing that improvement is happening on this, which means this shows that there is abundant grace by the Almighty, because He knows I cannot give everything at one go. He has to feed to the extent of what we can take, just like a loving mother would do. It will not put the whole bowl of food into the child's mouth. Spoon by spoon, the feeding happens. So that is exactly what's happening now. So come, let's listen to the shloka, and then we understand the meaning. Verse number 20. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Yatro Paramate Chittam Niruddham Yoga Sevaya Yatra Chaivatmanatmanam Pashyannatmani Tushyati. Now this, as we know, this whole chapter talks about the practice of meditation and bringing the state of mind to the level of achieving spiritual realization. Now here Lord Krishna describes the state of this yogi who has achieved a high level of meditation. Yatra uparamate chittam. This uparamate chittam is the adjective over here. Yatra means where. Chittam is mind. Uparamate chittam, where he has reached a high level of mind. The mind of such a yogi is completely restrained and tranquil in the practice of yoga. See, we fight so much to abstain from distractions. Now, the indirect benefit of being in this tranquil state of yoga is this mind is able to restrain distractions. Niruddham yoga sevaya. This is a state. Now comes the next one is self-satisfaction. This yogi is able to see the Atman by the self. Atmanam Pashyan. Where? Within himself. Where is this Atman? It is within you. That consciousness, awareness is right there within you. Because if it is not there within you, then you are no more. You become insentient because of the presence of that Atman within you. Now, what this yogi is able to do, he is able to Atmanam Pashyan. He is able to see that. Now, that is our endeavor, exactly now what we are harping upon. This means now the yogi perceives his own essence which is there within him. How? Through introspection and meditation. So indirectly, he is saying, you do this, you will also get this. What you have to do? Introspect and meditate. So in this way, this yogi, he achieves this realization and he finds contentment. Tushyati. Where? Within himself. Atmani. Tushyati Atmani. You're able to get these key points here. Now, next comes if you talk of the key ideas here, the controlled mind again. So this verse, it emphasizes the importance of controlling the mind. So don't allow any other distractions to hit you. Maya will play a terrible game the moment you set your path on this spirituality. It will give you all the nonsense it can. This is one, I would say, a warning which I can give you. Because it wants to pull you back. All along it has established control over you. Now it will not allow you to go. So unwanted things will keep coming to your mind. You have to have the discipline. Forget everything which has happened earlier. Forgive or ask forgiveness. Accept. Do whatever you can. But don't allow your mind to be disturbed. Because an undisturbed mind, as we saw in the previous shloka, 19th verse, you're just like a lamp is unflickering in a windless place. And where there is wind, the lamp will flicker. So in the same way, your mind has to be unflickering. For that, you need to have a calm atmosphere. So when you do this, that self-realization, that yogi who has not only controlled the mind, but at the same time, he gains the ability to see his true nature within. Now, true nature you don't have to create. It is already there. Just that it is covered by the agitations of the mind. This is one very important. Oh, now by me doing meditation, probably I'll be constructing the Atman within, or Atman will slowly start, just like I have sown a seed and then you see a small plant sprouting from earth. Is it going to happen that way? No. It is already there, full bloom. It is there. But your ignorance has covered it. So he says, this particular sadhak, with that disciplined, controlled mind, free from aberrations and distractions, he gets to see his true self through his self-awareness and meditation. And what is the result? Contentment. Now see, we're all searching for this contentment. Contentment by objects, how does it have? Till the time you have that object, it is there. Okay, not that the object has to go away for your contentment to vanish. No. Even with that object being there, suddenly your mind will come out with another gimmick. It will ask for a better version of that object. See how it plays. So, that contentment which you get by experience of the bliss. So that ultimate result of self-realization is inner peace and contentment. Now if you see, this verse actually underlines the transformative power of yoga and meditation in achieving that self-awareness, that self-realization, that inner peace, which are, if you see all along it, these are the central themes throughout the Bhagavad Gita. Peace, realization. Peace, realization. How does it come? By awareness, discipline, meditation, and constant practice. This is what we learn in this 19th verse. He has glorified, he has told what are the methods, and he has said, follow this and you will experience this. Now this is what exactly we are looking at, but the only thing is, we are not looking at fulfillment, contentment and peace in the right place. We are looking in the wrong place. Okay, now we go to the next verse, verse number 21. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Sukam Atyantikam Yattad Buddhe Grahyamatindriyam Veti Yatra na Chaivayam Stita Chalati Tattvataha. Stitas Chalati Tattvataha. Now another beautiful verse now here. So Lord Krishna again takes it forward. He first gives a bit of an understanding again. Look, Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena maam upa yantite. He talks about this 10th verse of the 10th chapter. Arjuna, I am giving you this knowledge, only with which you can see me. You will not be able to see me with karma, bhakti, upasana, parayana, pranayama. You will not be able to see this. You do all that, which means what? What all these I'm going to do, is it going to go a waste? Lord Krishna says, no. Certainly they are of great use to you. Don't underestimate the power of all these sadhanas and the preparations you are doing. Like for example, you want to catch a train. You want to go to some place, so you need to catch a train. Now you will have to go to the station, and doesn't happen that you just go to the station, you stand in the entrance of the station. It doesn't work. You will have to go to the right platform, and not that you are only standing on that platform somewhere. It doesn't work. You have to go to where your bogie is coming, because probably there, if it is just 30 seconds of 1 minute halt, otherwise you will miss the train. You have to go and stand in the exact place. And then after the train comes, you just cannot stand there in front of the train. You have to board the train. And before all this, you have to buy a ticket. See, when there is a journey, there are several things to be taken care. You just cannot ignore and say, okay, I have done this and now this will solve all my problem. No. You have to be alert at every stage. So this is what the Lord says, that unless and until you are in a position to prepare yourself in the right manner, you will not be able to achieve what I am going to teach you. So, and this he says, this jnana is only going to be helpful after you have got antakarana shuddhi. And how did antakarana shuddhi come? By all the rituals you have done so far. So they prepare you for the final climax. That is for the Atma Jnana. All your upavasa, vrat, puja, tirtha yatra, dhyana, yoga abhyasa, kundalini abhyasa, bhakti, everything. Chittasya shuddhaye karma natu vastu palabdhaye vastu siddhir vicharena na kinchit karma koti vihi. This is told by Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya in his epic grantha, which is Viveka Chudamani. Now, what does this say? He says, karma, all actions you are doing is for the purification of the mind. Because these things you have to understand in the most appropriate manner. Then only you will not regret. You said, oh, I didn't have that knowledge. I was only focusing on something, but that does not give this result. So this reality is attained only by discrimination, Viveka Shakti, discernment, and not by all these rituals and countless action. So in this way, now he highlights the limitations and the importance of a purified mind and that discernment and discriminative inquiry in achieving the spiritual enlightenment. So now this verse encourages this holistic approach to spiritual practices. Now, having said that, here in verse 21, buddhi grahyaam atindriyam. So the happiness is beyond what one gets from the sensual pleasures and objects. He makes a clear, emphatic statement. What do you know? You have not experienced anything beyond that. But he says, this is beyond, and not that it is okay, double, triple, no. It is something which beyond limits. Veti, one who has understood this. Nacha eva ayam sthita, sthitas chalati tattvataha. So a person who is established in this reality, having gone beyond the apprehension of the body, mind and senses, now he is one who is going to be firmly established in this. That's why we have seen so many sages, so many yogis, they don't care for anything else. It's a common tendency, you want to gain happiness, you want to gain peace, sensory pleasure. But once you have attained that, got the pleasure from the inner self, then all the outer pleasures, they're no more distractive. So this way, in verse number 15, so here again, the Lord, he talks about Natad bhasyate suryo na shanko na pavakaha yadgatvana nivartante tadhama paramam mama. He says, having gone to which one does not return, that which is my supreme abode. So once you have had the taste of my supreme abode, you will not want to return to the materialistic world. This is another declaration he makes. Now for whom? Veti, that person who has nacha eva ayam sthitaha chalati tattvataha. That person who has experienced bliss over here. So now one may get a doubt actually. You are talking of bliss. Now, is it not that we are getting bliss in deep sleep? There also we are going beyond our mind, senses and body. We also experience bliss over there. Is it that kind of a bliss you are talking about? Emphatically no. In deep sleep, although one has crossed his body, initially, what happens is the moment you go to dream, your body and senses are disconnected. You are only working with your mind now. Consciousness, mind. With the help of consciousness, now the mind projects a world of its own, and with all sorts of concocted thoughts, now there is a construct of a world there. You may be a part of that dream, or you may not be there, but you are seeing something which can be happy, sorrowful, fearful, dreadful, All those kind of emotions go on in the dream. But after you cross the dream state, you go to the deep sleep state. First level, you have given the body, given up the senses. Now, when you go to deep sleep, even this mind also goes to sleep there. What is there? Only pure consciousness. Is it that kind of a... Just now you said that he crosses the mind, he crosses the body, he crosses the senses. Here also I am doing that. So again, this is clarified over here. It is a state of prajna. Prakarshena agnaha means it is a state of complete ignorance. This bliss is only because there is no world, no dvaita. Dvaita means the second, the other. Ekam means one, I and I alone. But because there is nobody else, when does fear, sorrow, helplessness, grudge, jealousy, pride, anger, when does this come? When there is another. If you're all by yourself, all these don't come. So all these come only because there is no dvaita. So in deep sleep, you are in a state of advaita, meaning only one. Ekam, advaita. So hence bliss is there, but there is because of only ignorance. So here tad buddhi grahyaam, such a yogi sadhak has truly understood the power of the supreme reality. And if you see, we are fortunate to be following the path of Advaita Vedanta. Of course, we had so many options, but look how God sends us His grace. In fact, I must tell you, once I didn't know there are so many paths. I had just jumped into this wagon of spirituality, and then when they were teaching, they spoke about 16 different paths. We have heard 4 paths: karma, bhakti, jnana, raja, and jnana yoga. In jnana, there are 16 different major paths, and they went on explaining. I was wondering, my God, what is this? Have I come to the wrong place? But then when I realized, after going through everything, unbiased, I did my study, I said, I am at the best place. Because only Advaita, as I mentioned, it grants you that Jeevan Mukti, provided you have the steam to do what is required by this path. Jeevan Samuktayaha. While he is living, he becomes liberated. Even though he is breathing, he is doing all actions, he is working, he is having a family, everything is going on. He appears to be like a common worldly person, but such a person who, having established himself in that position of non-doer, that is the only thing. Why are we away from the Supreme? Is because of ignorance, which he himself has planted. Now he himself has given the knowledge, and you come out of me as the doer. Now this is again what exercise we are going to do. Targeting at the right level, pressing the right buttons, as they say. That is what is the insight given by Lord Parameshwara. So this feeling of non-doer, it establishes immediately the aspect of self-realization. So we all have to go to that state of mind and be established in that reality. This has to be our aim. So now here what we understood, happiness beyond senses, that is one thing which we are aware of. Then you have to be established in a determined state of mind. See that your mind does not waver, and a steadfast understanding of the knowledge. Once you have all this and you continuously pursue, then you attain the state of this samadhi, the disciplined practice of meditation, and eventually self-realization is the output of this particular philosophy. Okay, now We move on to I'll take you in the last week in Aparoksha Anubhuti Sadhana, I had spoken about Pratyaksha, Paroksha and Aparoksha. Okay, now we heard about this. Now we are coming back from the tutorial part. We are now coming to the practical part. Okay, now what is our aim now? We want to gain that self-realization. Now to gain that self-realization, what is the method? I don't want to see, meaning see, hear, touch, smell, taste, all these are with my perceptions. I don't need that. Nor I need the perception capacity of somebody else. But without anything, I should be in a position to experience. That is aparoksha. Pratyaksha is with my own eyes. Paroksha means through the eyes of somebody, my very close friend or my spouse or my parents, my siblings. They told me that they have seen this or heard this, so that becomes my knowledge. But for aparoksha, you don't need anything of this. You only need your own self-experience without the mind and the senses. Now here we talk of the limitations. As we said, every good thing comes with a condition. The more and more charming it is, the more and more astounding it is, the condition also is very abnormal. So now what are the limitations to understand the true self? Now the Upanishad says, Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. Emphatic statement. Now this is from the Taittiriya Upanishad. What it says, Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha means the direct translation is from which words return, along with the mind not having attained anything. This is dreadful actually, meaning you cannot get this experience by listening to words or with your mind or with your senses. No, it goes to a point and then it comes back. So this, a state of reality of this truth, which is beyond the reach of this ordinary human faculty such as speech and mind. So here it highlights the limitations of language, intellect in capturing the essence of this ultimate reality, that is the Brahman. So the Upanishads have again and again emphasized that this ultimate truth or the essence of existence is something which cannot be fully comprehended through intellectual or verbal means. Now this has to be, this puts you in a state of shock. Don't worry. All that needs to be done is taken care already. Then how do I understand this? If my mind is not able to grasp it, if words, whatever we are listening, then 4 years we have been listening to so many things, which means all that is going to go a waste. No. So it only talks about this profound and mysterious nature of the ultimate reality. And it is, of course, encouraging seekers now. It says, you go beyond that intellectual understanding to achieve and have a direct experiential realization of the divine. In other words, the soul always knows what to do to heal itself. The challenge is to silence the mind. The soul knows. We think that by using the mind we can do things. No, you have to only silence the mind. Show the mind its right place. Now the mind is all spread all across. Everywhere, wherever you go, you can see the mind. But the mind has got no role to play in this. And the soul knows what how it has to find its way. Now, another aspect comes to light here now. Now, this is again very important. Yame Vaishya Vrunate Tasya Yesham Vrunate Tanum Swam. This comes from the Kathopanishad. Now, this is something again staggering. To whom the self, that is the Atman, it chooses. So, to him alone it is obtained. To such a one, the self reveals to such a person. Now you got it why I say that we are the chosen ones? Because we can understand the way it is taking us forward. Otherwise, it would have dumped us long back somewhere. I have seen so many sadhaks. They go ahead, and after a point, they are dropped. That clearly shows that the Atman is not willing to take them forward. So, Yame Vaishya Vrunate Tasya Yesham Vrunate Tanum Swam. To whomever it wants to reveal. I told you, it is already there within. You don't have to do anything else. When it wants to reveal, it will reveal. And whatever needs to be done to have the revelation or experience the revelation, that will again be done by the Atman alone. It will give you the right situations, the right atmosphere, the right mindset. See, now let's say you have some ailment and they say you have to undergo surgery. You say, okay doctor, I'm ready. And whatever is the fees and all that, yes, money, everything is in order, and all the family members say, okay, let's go ahead. And then they'll test your various parameters. And then they'll say this blood sugar is not in order, or some other infection is there in the body. They'll come out with certain things and they say, no, now we cannot do. You have to wait. Only unless and until you come out of this particular parameter, we cannot conduct the surgery. So in the same way here, whatever the soul needs in terms of vairagya, where you need a certain amount of dejection. That dejection means it's not a negative term. You are basically, you keep things in its right place. Not that you are frustrated with you or dejected with you, no. You just say, this is the nature of the world. This is the nature of human beings. This is the nature of situations. Once you know this truth, now what happens is, that is what was required in you. So God is just like, as the doctor says, surgery will happen when all these things come to this parameter. In the same way, now the Atman says, I will reveal myself to you when all these parameters are in place. And now, how do I bring the parameters in place? You don't worry, I will ensure that they come in place. And what all is required for that to come in place, the Almighty, the divine power itself will play its role. So that's the reason we have to keep accepting situations in life. Every situation, good, bad, ugly, horrible, is only grace of the Paramatma. Say this to yourself 1,000 times. Your life will be very peaceful. Apart from that, you will get what you want to get on the path of spirituality. So, this way now, this divine grace, that worthiness of a seeker, that selection, all that is done by the Atman eventually to reveal itself. Now, having understood this, now what is I'll just give a flavor. Now, what happens when the experience of true self and its outcome, we just now heard in verse number 20 and 21. I'll not take it further. Maybe some other time I'll tell you what the Upanishad says about it. Okay. Now, you will say, I am sold. I want to get established in this true self. I don't know. I am sold. You take me there. Tell me what to pay, how to pay. I am ready to pay. See, I've got cash ready here. Tell me how to go there. Now, how to get established in this true self? You have to first. Now, what did the Shastra say? All your perceptions, perceptory organs, the sense organs, they are of no use over here. Then your mind is also of no use. There is a concoction of Atma and Anatma. So now our aspect is, if you cannot see the Atma with the mind or your senses, then the best thing is to remove what you can see and understand. Let's say you have some grains, okay? And in that, they say there is a particular grain, but they are not able to describe it. Okay, just hypothetically, you will be able to understand. 2 grains. Now, the other grain is wheat, which is mixed with the grain which they are talking about, which is not being able to, which is not in a position to describe it. So now what you will do? You know wheat. Okay, you go on removing the wheat from the mixture. Then what remains is Atma, the one which you are not able to explain. In the same way, what we can do with our mind and with our understanding capability, only that we should attack now. Anatma vastu, remove them. And what will remain, which is already self-shining, self-luminant, it is already there. You will be able to see it. So, what are the Anatma vastu? Now, this you have to understand carefully, because you have to remove all this from wherever this nonsense is hidden. Now, 5 sense organs, okay, which you know: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, right? 5 sense organs. Then comes the 5 organs of action, which is Vak, power of speech, Pani, hands, Pada, legs. Then comes Upastha, genital, Payuhu, anus. Now these are the 5 organs of action. This is Anatma, 5 senses, Anatma. Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Hankara. These 4 are again Anatma. So now what we have to do is, we have to hit straight on all these things. Now, how do you live in your daily life? You see, you say I saw. You taste, you say I tasted. I gave, I went, I came, I received, and then I spoke, I smelt, I saw, I heard. Don't we say that? Now, using these sense organs, which is all Anatma, what you have done, this Ahang Bhava of yours has got mixed with it, and you are in that, what you call as Anatma Parampara. In that bad company, you have mixed up yourself. So now we are untying all the wrong things in our life. I want to reach that supreme abode and gain self-realization. Okay, now God has tested me for 4 years, and now He is opening doors for me. He is giving me this direct knowledge and saying, you do this sadhana in this particular way, and I will reveal myself to you. So we are going straight to understand that these 14 Anatma Vastu, which is there in me, out of the Viveka Shakti or the discernment Shakti given by the Lord Himself, by Parameshwara, I am going to discard all the Anatma Vastu. As He says in verse number 8 and 9 of the 5th chapter, Naiva kinchit karo meti yukto manneti tattvavita. Pashyan, Shunvan, Jighran. What is this? Pashyan means seeing. Shunvan, hearing. Jighran, smelling. Ashnan, eating. Gachan, moving. Swapan, sleeping. Shwavan, breathing. Pralapan, talking. Visarjan, giving up. Grinnan, accepting. Unmishan, opening your eyes. Nimishan, closing your eyes. So with all these actions, what you are continuously, you are saying that I am doing all this. Now, he says, this is the biggest catch for you. I have put you in such a way that you are constantly doing all this and saying, I am the doer, I am the doer, I am the doer. Now you have to unwind that. This is the knowledge which we have got, that this is where you're going wrong, my dear. Come out of this. And after having done this exercise, slowly I will reveal to you from various parts of Bhagavad Gita what he has told us earlier, and we have also read, understood, but we didn't know what it meant. We'll do this exercise for some days. Maybe in the next class or so, when the right time comes, I'll also talk about the brain and how we are going to use the strength of the brain to refurbish the entire ignorance in us. And then we will go to various verses of the previous chapters, and when you study that, you will already understand that I have elevated myself, or I have gone out of the clutches of ignorance. So far I am trying to understand, but I didn't understand. But now I see with so much clarity, and life becomes much more easier for you, much more rejoiceful. It's not that at one go, like you switch on a light and that dark room lightens up. No, slowly you will see it is injected in you. Slowly it spreads in your entire system, and you will feel that elatedness coming in you slowly. That's the process over here. Don't think that you will get a flash of light and you will come to a state where you will experience it immediately. You will have small flickers initially, a few seconds, and then after some gap again you will get another flicker, which could be a few more seconds than before, and then slowly that quantum increases. And how that quantum increases depends on the exercise which we are going to do today. Okay, now prior to this, I'll give you an idea. I've told you now we are going to drive away all the anatma in us. Then only Atma remains, which will be self-revealing. Now, how do I do that? So, as we all know, Ashtanga Yoga, the 8-path-fold, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, 5 are over. Then the last 3 are Dharana, Dhyana, and the ultimate is Samadhi. Now, our aim is to reach Samadhi. Dharana and Dhyana, these two are very important, which now we are going to practice. Now, what is Dharana? Dharana is the practice of concentrating or putting that mind on one single point or an object. You just need to hold your mind on that. Now, so far we did Sakshi Bhava meditation. What did we do over there? We held our mind in such a way that there are no thoughts. We practice that. Now here, I will be teaching you a technique where you will be having a thought in the form of a mantra, and using the power of the mantra and the picture of the Lord, where you are visualizing in your mind, you will be chanting the mantra. So by this, what happened? Now your dharana is going to strengthen. Now if your hand is weak, what does the doctor tell you? Do some physiotherapy exercise. Keep you lifting some weights. So gradually the muscles will develop. In the same way, here we have to develop the power of concentration. So that will be a part of our meditation program. So now this dharana, as you are able to place your mind on one particular point, then what happens is you reach the state of dhyana. Now dhyana is what? The same situation where it is sustained, uninterrupted concentration. The mind does not go out and come back. Initially it does, going out, coming back, going out, coming back, but the number of flickering or fluctuation will reduce. Initially in 1 minute, if it has gone 10 times, meaning every 6 seconds it has gone once, now you will see gradually that once in 10 seconds it goes. Then up to 12 seconds or 15 seconds, you are able to hold that thought on whatever you are focusing. And once you hold that thought, that in that deep state of, that mind is fully absorbed on what you are focusing on, that leads to the oneness with the divine. And as you move on this path, then gradually there will be a state of samadhi where you are completely absorbed in divinity. I'll give you a metaphor how to understand this. Now, in olden days, you must have seen where you draw water from the well. They used to have a pot. Okay. Now they tie the rope to the neck of the pot, and there's a pulley up there, and from over the pulley the rope goes along with the pot down. Now the pot goes down, you're letting the rope loose, and but it hits the water. Now as soon as the pot hits the water surface, if you have noticed, the pot will be shaking back and forth. Okay, it does not do a dive where it goes and the mouth of the pot goes inside the water and it turns there and it jumps up saying, I have now filled myself with water. No, that doesn't happen. So you have to, as it hits the surface of the water, you have to give some room, meaning allow some rope so that it slowly bends sideways. It doesn't immediately do that. It will be shaking this way, this way, this way, this way. You will have to slowly pull it a little bit up and then leave a little, give it some more rope and see that it slowly touches the surface of the water. And then little by little water starts entering in. So that oscillation which was happening, that was dharana. You are not allowing the mouth of the pot to oscillate. You are allowing it to stay on the water. That's it. That is dharana. Dhyana is as the water enters, slowly the water is entering now inside the pot. You are not allowing it to move. What you have done, you have kept the mouth of the pot in contact with the water and you see that the water is slowly entering. So by the practice of dharana, which was shaking, you have brought it into a steady process. And now when the water is entering, that is a state of absorption, which is dhyana. Dhyana of what? That divinity. And slowly you will see as the water is entering, now the pot also starts turning this way. Then water, as the speed of the water enters in, it slowly gets full. And now once it is full, what happens? It goes down. That is the state of samadhi. You have completely immersed yourself in the state of samadhi. Now just like the water is full, the pot is full with water in it. It drowns inside the water. In the same way, your mind dissolves and goes down. You are in that state of divinity. Now the water inside the pot and the water outside the pot are one and the same when the pot is inside the water totally. As far as the pot is outside the water is different from the well water. So in the same way, now here we are in this limited individual and we consider with that aham bhava, I am this, my limitation is this, my extent is this, all that boundaries we have created. So now having understood this dhyana, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, now we go to our exercise. I will start taking you from the basics and slowly we'll try to improvise. I'll give you more and more inputs to that exercise and make it a better version every time. Here, one thing, please remember, what you have to do is ensure that you do it on a daily basis, whatever you are going to practice now. And as they say, like, the best time for everything is there, the best time to do, as they say, eat when you're hungry. And then the doctor prescribes medicines and he says you take it before your meal, and some medicines he says take it after the meal. So there is a best time. So the best time for this practice would be the Brahma Muhurat, 1.5 hours before sunrise, which can fall in place like somewhere from 4:30 to 4 to 5:30 types. That will be the right appropriate time. Reason, the absorption capacity is the highest. The power to absorb. In simple terms, like when there is no traffic, you can cover the distance in a much faster way. In the same way, here you are able to absorb it. This is one aspect. How many times you have to do this in a day? I would recommend do a full course in the morning, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour. Good. And I will tell you what you will not feel. Now I'm able to do for almost 1.5 hours. Nothing. No kind of you're still fresh after you finish your morning dhyana. So that is for the morning. Afternoon, you can do one portion of this, which I'll explain and tell you later how much you should do. Okay. The first 3 meaning 36 counts of the Mahamrityunjaya mantra. So this can be done in the afternoon, which can take about 10-12 minutes or 15 minutes at best. And if possible, try to do once again before going to sleep. And as you are sleeping, 2 important periods of the day and night are while going to sleep and immediately after you get up, where it has a great impact on your subconscious mind. So during that time, whatever we are saying in this anatma process, repeat it to your mind at that point. If you do this, now the study of the brain, neuroscientists, neurologists talk about is anywhere between 18 days to 254 days, and they put an average of 66. So 66 times you have done on a continuous basis. It can happen at 18 also, or even at 254, but the moment you do this on a continuous basis, you will see that there is a complete change in the rewiring which has happened in the brain. So this is proved by science. So now using that technology, science to our advantage, which gives you enhanced confidence. So we rewire our brain. With what? We remove anatma and put in atma over there. All the wrong understandings what we have. Very simple. There is somebody whom you had some understanding. It could be, say, I thought he was a very good person. But somebody comes and tells you, you know what is his true nature? This is his true nature. Don't you change your mind? What happened there? All the time you had something good version of him. Now suddenly when somebody tells you, you slowly keep thinking of the same new version which you have understood, and don't you change your opinion about him? In the same way, we are removing this anatma and putting the atma over there. The right understanding. Okay. So if you are able to do this practice with that sincerity, and as I told you, yame vaishya vrunate tasya yesha vrunate tanum swam, which means the Atman himself chooses you. Now when it has come to this point where it is ready to give you, now what more you want to doubt on it? It is only that you have to do it. That's it. Now if you have got prasad, something very rare which nobody gets, let's say that way, you got it in your hand. Now if you keep it in your hand, then what will happen? No, you have to lift your hand, take it to your mouth, and then swallow the prasad. then only you got it to yourself. So keeping this in the background, religiously make up your mind. All your 4 years of hard sadhana now is coming to a point where you're getting the fruit of it. And let's see how the divine grace showers. We'll continue to do what we have to do. Who is the doer? He only himself is the doer. We are not the doer. So in that, with that faith, with that belief, let's move forward. Krishna Arpanamastu. How much ever we can do, we'll try to achieve today. Okay. I'll quickly do the Namavali and the Dhanvantari mantra also, and give you a fair idea today what we're doing. Om Rutu Sudarshana Kala Parameshti Parigraha Ugraha Samvatsaro Daksho Vishramo Vishwadakshinaha. Vishwadakshinaha, the last Sahasranama of the 45th verse of the Vishnu Sahasranama. The most skillful and efficient, Vishwadakshinaha. All efficiency and skill that we find in the universe among the dynamic living creatures are all his expressions alone, and therefore he is the source of all skill and efficiency. Again, he is the one who is the very creator and preserver of the whole universe, and he must be the most efficient manager and administrator among the living beings. So to such a Vishwadakshinaha, we offer our humble salutations and prayers, and seek his grace, mercy, blessings. Now he is that efficient manager and administrator. Now he has given us this, who is the creator and preserver. What a coincidence. Now, taking his permission, his grace, we start this exercise today. Before that, we need a sound mind and a sound body to carry on this journey. Our humble prayers to Lord Dhanvantari. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Our humble salutations to Lord Dhanvantari. Om Tat Sat. Now come. Please be in a relaxed state of mind. If you need to get up once and sit back again, please do that. Now the next 15 minutes, you are in a form of transcendence. Now, let's do Anulom and Vilom to start with. 3 times is good enough. You can start. Now 3 times Bhramari Pranayam. Now relax. Head, neck and spine in a straight line. Now I would request all of you to watch the screen. Now here, if you can see, you have 8 squares horizontally and 8 squares vertically. Okay. What we are going to do is, we will be mentally constructing a chart of the similar kind, which will have 12 squares horizontally and 9 squares vertically, which means 12 into 9, 108. Okay, one mala of the mantra which we are going to chant. Now, what do you do and how do you do? Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Now, this is our route map. We want to first gain that concentration in our mind. So, using the power of the mantra, I will be chanting the mantra. At that point of time, you see the chart, you see that square, close your eyes, and that square should appear in your Brahmarandhra, that is in the gap between your eyebrows on your forehead. At that point, you ensure that that square is there, and there you insert a picture of Lord Ishvara, Shiva. Whatever picture you can visualize, select a good picture you have in mind, and you make a small sticker and you're pasting in this white square mentally along with the mantra. Now I go to the next mantra. Next mantra, you are moving along this chart, which is 12 squares you have horizontally. And then after you have completed 12, we come to the next line. Again, I will chant the mantra for 12 times. And during the third line, I will be doing the Anatma exercise. So today, in this 10 to 15 minutes time, we will ensure that we finish the first 3 lines. Now what will happen? 4th and 5th will be again chanting of the mantra, pasting. So you're ensuring that the mind doesn't go anywhere. We want that concentration aspect to improve in ourselves. Now this concentration will help you in your daily work also. tremendously. You will have a lot of clarity in your work. You will have so much of focus in your work. It will take you to another level in the worldly aspect also. That is a part. But here, what we need, that stability of mind. Every mantra occur, you paste a stamp size photo of the Lord and be engrossed in that vision of the Lord. Why? The power of Maya is maximum in the area of the face. So you are replicating the face of the Lord with your face. Why I say Maya is there? You have your ears, you have the skin, you have the nose, you have the mouth, you have the eyes. All the Pancha Jnanendriya and the brain which has got the Aham Bhava. Everything is in this face. So seeing the face of the Lord, you are replicating that face and focused completely on the face of the Lord. Okay? 4 and 5 will be chanting of the mantras again. In the 6th verse, again I do the exercise of the anatma removal. Then 7th and 8th will again be chanting of the mantras, increasing the power of concentration and slowly enhancing the power of dharana. And finally in the 9th line, I will be again doing the exercise of the anatma removal. So 3, 6, 9. In this way, in these 3 lines, we will be doing the anatma removal exercise. This I said, which when you do in the morning, it takes about an hour or so. Preparatory is while we are doing the Anulom Vilom and while we are doing the Brahmari Pranayam, you can chant the Vishnu Sahasranam also. That's what I am doing. So about in 6-7 minutes it takes. So during that time, I do all the preparation part. So with this, the brain is completely in an absolute emphatic state to give us the right result. Come. Now we move forward. Close your eyes. First visualize the square, and slowly you will be sliding the square one by one. First line, second square will come. Then first line, third square will come. But your focus is on the Brahmarandhra. It will be on the gap between your eyebrows, on the forehead. Okay. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityormukshiyamamritat. 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 Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् 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 उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। श्रोत्रं समर्पयामि। The ears and the capacity to hear do not belong to me, they belong to the Paramatma. Whatever you have heard, repeat it in your minds. I'm giving a gap of 10 seconds, and there is a scientific reason for this, which I will explain later. All the functions of the ears and the experiences of the ears are done only and only by consciousness. In the first line, you clearly gave up the ownership of the ears and said it belongs to the Paramatma. Now in the second line, you are saying that every action of that particular sense organ done during the day and night is all happening due to the consciousness. Idam namama. This is not mine. ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। त्वक् समर्पयामि। The skin and the sense of touch does not belong to me, it belongs to Paramatma. All the sense perceptions of the skin, of this body, and the experiences of the sense of touch are only due to the power of consciousness. Visualize the various aspects of experience of touch in your life, daily life, and know that consciousness is behind this perception of touch. ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। चक्षुः समर्पयामि। Eyes and the power to see do not belong to me, it belongs to the Paramatma. Everything I see in my life through the eyes of this body are functioning purely due to the power of the consciousness. Idam namama. Nothing is mine. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiv Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat Jihva Samarpayami. The organ of taste, the tongue. It does not belong to me, it belongs to the Paramatma. All the perceptions of taste I experience during the day, which is through the tongue, happens only and only because of pure consciousness. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiv Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat Granam Samarpayami. Samarpayami means I offer. The organ of smell, the nose. This too does not belong to me, it belongs to Paramatma. All the sense perceptions of smell I have had during the day, I have experienced during the day, happens only and only due to the consciousness. Idam namama. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiv Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Now we move on to the organs of action. Vak Samarpayami. The power of speech does not belong to me, it belongs to Paramatma. Right from morning till night, every word, every sentence I have spoken is only happening due to the power of consciousness present in me. Idam namama. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiv Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat Paniyam Samarpayami. The hands of this body and its functioning capacity does not belong to me, it belongs to Paramatma. Now keep visualizing all the actions done by the hands during the day. The movement of the hands is only happening because of the consciousness present in me. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiya Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat Padyam Samarpayam. The legs and its capability to move does not belong to me, it belongs to Paramatma. All the actions during the day done by the legs, every motion, every movement is happening only due to the consciousness. Idam namama. This too does not belong to me. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiya Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat Upastha Samarpayami. The reproductive organ of the body and its reproductive capacity does not belong to me, it belongs to the Paramatma. Every function of the genital is happening only due to the consciousness. Idam namama. It does not belong to me. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiya Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat Payuhu Samarpayami. The anus does not belong to me. It is the creation of the Paramatma. Every excretory function of the anus is happening only due to the presence of consciousness. Idam namama. I have nothing to do here. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiya Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat Mana Buddhi Chitta Samarpayami. Mind, intellect, and memory, all these belong to Paramatma. Every thought that occurs in the mind, every agitation of the mind, every decision made by the intellect, and every memory which comes in the Smarana Shakti, is all happening only and only due to consciousness. Idam namama. I have nothing to do over here. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityormukshiyamamritat. The last of the Anatma. Aham Samarpayami. This Aham Bhava, I, the ego, does not belong to me. It belongs to Paramatma. Every outcome of the ego, the thoughts of me, mine, I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, I am the sufferer. All these thoughts are all happening only and only in consciousness. It does not belong to me. Idam namama. Now, this jiva, the body, senses, prana, mind, intellect, memory, ego, all these are ordained at the command of the Almighty Paramatma, executed through Parameshwara with the Maya Shakti, and this jiva is nothing but the creation of the divine. Now this jiva is engulfed in ignorance with the feeling of aham bhava, and being in that ignorance of aham bhava, the jiva does various actions in the state of aham karta, aham bhokta, I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, sufferer. And as a result of this, all his karma actions give rise to papa and punya, and thereby as a result, this jiva undergoes various births and deaths and is ever in the cycle of births and deaths in the samsara chakra. Now this jiva, with the Vishesha Krupa of the Paramatma, through Ishvara, has gained Divya Jnana, Atma Jnana. And as a result of this Atma Jnana, ignorance of Aham Bhava, Aham Karta, is completely destroyed. Aham Nasha happens with the light of this knowledge. And as a result, this jiva slowly starts experiencing the aparoksha anubhuti, the self-experience of the divine within. Om Tat Sat. Now bring back your attention on the prana shakti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Together we offer today's Gita Jnana Yajna at the lotus feet of the Lord. Seek His grace, mercy, and blessings. Naham karta hari preranaya hari yattam. Shri Krishnarpanamastu idam namama. Om Tat Sat. I hope you all had a flavor, a glimpse of the divine experience. So we did 3 lines today. As you saw, it almost took I think more than 20 minutes, 20-25 minutes. So that's how I said it takes about an hour to do the entire 9 rounds. You have to echo the version. What is it saying? Now, so far we were all talking about that these ears are mine, eyes are mine, the sense of taste is mine, the skin is mine, all that. Now you're saying you're not the owner. And for your info, I'll be talking of the every sense organ, how magnanimous it is designed and how it performs. So in every class, I'll be taking one sense organ and showing you a diagram and explaining the function of that organ. And you will be amazed. Then automatically the mind will say, I am not the owner of such a magnanimous creation. So only to attack on those lines, we are doing this. So this way, we'll use all the right techniques and come out of the Bhranti, the illusion what we have about ourselves, and know our true self and be in that divine bliss. So as far as the next class is concerned, I'm traveling from Monday onwards. So we'll try to see if I can do it on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Whatever out of these 3 days I can do, I'll try to accommodate and I'll let you all know in advance. Om Tat Sat.